For 3 years, our marriage has been a battle against infertility. It was a struggle I felt in my bones, a deep and constant ache, but it was only one of many. Last year, the ground fell out from under us. I lost my job, and just weeks later, my husband had a stroke. He was in recovery, and I was in survival mode. I took on everything: the emotional weight, the financial strain, and the endless tasks of keeping a household afloat. We depleted our savings and racked up debt, all while I was still doing all the cleaning, cooking, and errand running. Even as my husband's health improved, the dynamic didn't. I was still carrying the entire weight of our home, and my requests for help were met with a blank wall. He'd shut me out, give me the silent treatment, and then, without a single word of apology, would expect intimacy as if nothing had happened. But the real breaking point came this summer. I was overjoyed when I found out I was pregnant. I held that hope for 6 beautiful weeks before it was ripped away. The miscarriage shattered me. For weeks, I was lost in a fog of pain and depression. I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't even bring myself to eat. Through it all, he did nothing. The dishes piled up, the laundry overflowed, and he carried on with his life as if my pain didn't exist. One night, I remember telling him I was in pain and hadn't eaten. He just sat there, scrolling on his phone. When I finally found the strength to get up and make myself something, he asked me to make him food. Too, he knew I was bleeding and still in pain. Yet he asked me to take care of him. It was a moment of profound loneliness and clarity. The fog of my depression began to lift, and I saw the emotional neglect I had been living with for so long. The neglect wasn't just emotional. I discovered he was $15,000 behind on taxes. And he lied about having money for a vacation, forcing me to max out my credit cards to cover our trip. We were now facing bankruptcy on top of everything else. It was too much. I finally reached my limit and gave him an ultimatum: marriage counseling or nothing. He dismissed my feelings, called me overreacting, and insisted the financial issues weren't a big deal. He refused counseling. It was a cold, hard refusal, and for the first time, I seriously considered walking away. 2 weeks of silent treatment and hurtful comments finally led to a half-hearted apology. The apology felt like a tool to get what he wanted. I couldn't shake the feeling that his only motivation was a physical connection, not a genuine desire to fix what was broken between us. He's not a bad person, but he's the definition of emotionally unavailable. I've realized he's a dismissive avoidant, and no amount of work feels like it can bridge that gap. I feel guilty for wanting to walk away, for wanting to give up on a marriage I so desperately wanted to work. But after everything, I don't know if I have anything left to give.